It's 97 on the Vox, H-Town's #1 hip-hop and R&B station. Que pasa, mi gente? It's your homegirl, Jessica Jeans, with the Late Night Hustle and supporting independent, underground, local, and Latino hip-hop here on the Late Night Hustle, along with Hustle Town Network. And I have one of my good friends here in the building. We haven't sat and had a good conversation, like in a minute, about what has come down to your music, but one of the first people who believed in Hustle Town Network, always pulling up for us. We have Young Easy in the building.
Yeah. It's a blessing to be here. Shout out Jessica Jeans and my boy Tex, man. It's a blessing to be here.
Yeah, man. We met some years ago, and it's been some years.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you've grown up a lot, not only age-wise, but even just musically. It's been a lot of different things that you've been through, and you can just tell in your music the evolution of Young Easy.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who may or may not know, tell them what part of town you repping.
North Central is and north side of Houston. That's where I'm from. There ain't too many people that came up out of there, so to be able to make a little mark right there from where I'm from means a lot. So that's where I'm from.
Yeah, and out the gate, we met you through ESG.
Mm-hmm.
ESG was like, look, y'all got to hear him. This is somebody you definitely got to have on. You got to know who this is. This young man, he can flow, he can spit. He's one of the realest people I know. And so we brought you in with ESG, and you guys can still see the interview, Hustle Town Network, on our YouTube. But it's great to have you here on 97.9 The Box now, man.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
We're on the radio.
Yeah, we're on the radio now. We're on the radio.
Yeah, so you've dropped a lot of different projects, and you worked with a lot of different legends here on your way up. I know J-Dog being one of them guys. So tell us a little bit about working with K-Dog and with J-Dog and with ESG.
Really, man, it's a blessing. ESG's from the South Side Pioneer, so to get one of the first SUC members on a track was a blessing to me. And then, one of the first Swisher House members, J-Dog, that was a bigger blessing, especially being from where I'm from. So it was a blessing to be able to collaborate with them. Those are my two good mentors that I'll be able to call, and they'll tell me, hey, this is a good look, this is whatever. So, it's a blessing to be able to come up under them, and to collab with the OGs, and for them to pass the torch. I feel in the way they did to me, to be able to speak to the generation of this dude can actually rap,
Right,
so.
right. You really actually can rap, and I resonate a lot with your music. I've been able to put on a Young Easy album, EP, single, whatever you have going on, and sometimes that thing just rides because it's just back to back bangers, and a lot of stuff that you do, which I was kind of like pleasantly surprised that for your age, you just have a lot of knowledge. It's just a lot of like real game. Where do you get a lot of that knowledge at such a young age that you're able to convey that in your music the way you do?
I feel like I got it from my aunt. I was raised up with her, so it was kind of like I can't keep you away from the situations that you're gonna be going through, but I can give you street smart, so how to move, being out here, because I also feel like there's a lot of my friends that died at a very young age, and a lot of them are also in prison, so it's kind of like having to grow up off that mindset, like there's bigger things to see, and learning how to adapt to your environment is definitely something that I feel like I've learned from my aunt and for her and my uncle Tito to teach me how to maneuver and keep myself safe, even though I'm in the place where you can die any day. So I just feel like it was definitely something that taught me, like, I'm not going to teach you to stay away from it, but I'm going to show you how to maneuver through this so you can, walk on, away from the danger, So that's what I feel like I was learned, like, real street smart at a young age. And instead of trying to keep me away from it, they kind of just told me ways to...
How to swim.
Exactly, how to swim amongst the sharks out here, So that's definitely what I feel like is a lot of things that, people fail to realize. You're gonna live out here regardless, so you might as well learn how to adapt. So I feel like because of them that I was able to know how to adapt out here.
Right, and you're still here, putting out music, influencing a lot of younger generations, and putting on for Latinos, So, you've been out here doing it for a very long time now. And what is it like in your perspective? Has there been any challenges being that you are a Latino out here trying to be in this rap game?
I feel personally that, when I first came out, there wasn't too many Mexican rappers. Like, I can honestly, timestamp that. Like, there wasn't too many Mexicans out there. So I feel like when I was first coming up in the game, I wasn't afraid to spend no money. So I was opening up for these shows for the Kikis and, the little flips and stuff like that, to the point where they would try to stop my music. You know, the DJs like, hey, Lil Kiki got to come up. Well, I'm like, man, I still gotta get my 2 songs out. You know, so
Yeah.
there's been a lot of times that I've been the only Mexican performing. Dominant. The rap game is dominant black. So I had to get my respect out here for them to realize, hey, this ain't just some Mexican I can just push over. So the respect that I got from that was like, like I feel like I took all the licks for the Mexicans in a way, because I feel like it was really, just me coming up at first, and then there started being everybody else. But salute to everybody else. Like I said, I never try to run with everybody's title. So if Peso says I'm the hardest essay ever, I give him that title because I honestly feel like I'm not just speaking for the essays, I'm speaking for everybody, because
Nice.
where I'm from is, mixed black and Mexicans, and that's what I feel like. I let everybody, get the title that they want. I'm not taking anything from anybody, but I'm also saying that I feel like I was one of the first Mexicans out here getting the respect from these DJs to realize, hey, like I honestly had DJs from the old club see me at Screwfest when ESG brought me there and just did nothing but like salute me and been like, damn, I remember I gave him a hard time for trying to get him to perform, and now look, he's over here at VIP right next to me. So that's things that I've went through, and I feel like I wouldn't skip any of it because I appreciate, everything that I've built to this. Nobody can take it away from me. This is a foundation I built from the ground up, kind of like the way y'all started with Hustle Town. It can't be broke. It's like you started it from the ground up. So that's the way I feel like my foundation is. Like, I don't have nobody that can be like, well, if it wasn't for me, this, And with my situation is more like I climbed all the way to the top,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate you sharing that story because there's so many other artists or people that are listening right now at their jobs, right? They're at their factory job, they're at their overnight job, or just riding in the city, and they're like, man, I've always wanted to be a rapper, MC, this is a place, and everybody popping out of H-Town, and, to give a story like that, it just kind of gives that, encouragement, right, to keep going, because people are not going to believe in you,
Yep.
and if you don't respect yourself enough to know, like, I deserve this, and I'm going to earn it.
Yep.
From the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you sharing that because, again, that's some of the stuff that you hear in Young Easy music. Like I said, there have been so many times I just, I put it on and I'm streaming and it's just like song just rolls right over. And just FYI, just a fun fact, I actually introed one of your albums a few years ago.
Yeah,
The Uncrowned King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you go listen to that, I do a little quick intro in it, but that whole album's crazy. So was the Crown one. That one was, it had like a few hot singles on that one too, so you definitely got to go back and do a lot of your homework if you haven't on Young Easy. But of course, you got new stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've been working. And you got a lot of different things that you got going on. So keep us up to date with what's been going on with Young Easy.
Man, I want to say, before we get started into the new music of how, dedicated I was to, the craft. When I was first coming up, there was a lot of, like, stuff that I felt like I was chasing down. So I know at one time, Paul Wall's wife had a dance studio right next to Subway on Patton, but it's not there no more. So, like, my homeboys would be like, hey, man, Paul Wall's up here, bro. And I'll be like trying to rush over there to get my mixtape to him, you know what I'm saying? So it's been one time I actually caught him, and after several attempts. But now it's like we seen him at the Astros game, and he's, what's up, Young Easy? It's a beautiful thing, like to see that I was like a young kid trying to come and rush over there, barely miss him or something. And,
yeah.
He's never been that type of dude that when I did run into him, like, oh man, I'm busy. He was like, hey man, what's up? Like the true definition, I feel like, of H-Town, like that's Paul Wall. You know what I'm saying?
Champ, man.
He is definitely one of the people that I feel like is just makes you feel like, hey, this is what Houston's about. So, I had recently did a song that I had in the chamber for a little while. It was with me, Little Kiki, and Little Flip. That was to that Coming Down by Pimp C, and I told Paul Wall, hey man, I seen him at the Astros game. I got a perfect track for you, that I feel like will fit. He was like, man, shoot it over to me. And he shot it to him, and the next day he shot the verse back. So
wow,
that one's like just H-Town All-Star list on that one. That's Lil Kiki, Lil Flip, Paul Wall, myself on there is just amazing track, So I just feel like Paul Wall is definitely you know, if anybody I could relate to was him, just, you know, him being white and coming up in this game.
Yep.
I have had stories from my friend HB telling me he remembers him being at Greenspoint Mall passing out CDs and stuff like that. So to earn the respect that he did, I honestly feel like I could relate to him a lot, especially coming up in this game and realizing that there's going to be a lot of diversity that's coming against you. But as long as you feel like you really dedicated to your craft, I feel like nothing's impossible. And he proved that with all the elements of, you know, how high he got into the rap game as he did, and being able to be on the MTV Awards and everything he's accomplished. So, I want to say I really look up to him in the rap game, especially like everything he's accomplished and how much work he's put in. He definitely deserves everything that's coming his way and continuing to grow and staying in the, you know, mix. So, you know, shout out Paul Wall, man.
Salute Paul Wall.
Yeah, for real.
Man, but what full circle, right? Like to sit there and be a fan growing up listening to him, and then now, like, you know, he dapping you up and recognizes you and gets on a song with you.
Like nothing.
Yeah, so I want to hear this song. I want everybody to hear it. So go ahead and introduce the song.
Hey man, it's Young Easy, and I'm right here with Jessica Jeans, 97.9 The Box, and this is my new single with Lil Flip, Lil Kiki, Paul Wall, myself, called H-Time.
Crazy. Yeah. Doing songs with the legends. What up, Flip? What's up, my guy? Hey, yeah. H-Time for real. What's out of top?
H-Time. We campaign on vote. Got the belts and the buckle, the grain and the neon glow.
This a bear.
Rest in peace, Pimp Check.
Rest in peace, Pimp
Rest in
Check.
peace, Big Mo. Can't nobody hold me back, I'm on my
Man, I'm straight up out of Texas, grew up jamming the flipper. UGK up in the decker while I'm chasing the Skrilla. 23 up in the game, but who be spitting it realer? 4 up in the cup, mixed with Coca-Cola vanilla. Cause I be swinging and banging, jamming the ocean of fun. License plate be saying Texas got 15s in the trunk. Houston brought you the drip and made what it was. DJ Screw slowed us down, I swear we missing you, cuz I'm from Texas, that's where I stay. Always keep the pistol hand, be keeping me safe. Even when I'm in the club, be tucked on my waist. And my strap too, but feel me just in case. Long live Big Mo, forever riding my. No snitching right here, we keep it silent. As by Easy in the streets, I put it down for the state. Song with legend at the legend, dropping hits in they face.
Yeah. On all platforms, so y'all heard it first here on 97.9 with Jessica Jeans.
Ooh, I appreciate it. I got chills on that one. So when can we expect it to drop?
ASAP. I'm probably gonna go ahead and go put it out now, so that way I can just have it on all platforms. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on that ASAP.